Hey guys, I completely forgot to film my intro and my outro to this video. Wow, I really suck at this. I'll just go ahead and insert like a Snapchat clip from earlier today so you guys can see what we're gonna be making today.
50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. Let's just not even discuss it, man. OMG.
Okay, so I'm starting off with MFEOM Pooter from the JACYLYN Nail Palette as my transition color first. And then right after that, I'm going to go in with Jax, which is a red brick kind of color. We're going to go through this pretty fast because I just want to get to the glitter. Next, I'm going to go in and add this blue shade, which is Twerk. I wanted a purple look, but I didn't want to jump straight into the purple, so I'm still trying to achieve that gradient effect. And now I'm going in with the purple shade, which is Royalty. And you just want to blend this until your arms fall off, basically. I don't want any harsh edges or lines at all. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up and basically trace out the crown with concealer and a detailing brush. So I'm basically just starting with the base of the crown first. I felt like that was easiest. Then to just go in free-handed and start making a crown. So I'm basically starting from the outside and working my way in. I'm just going to make each individual triangle until I have made the crown that I want. And then just make sure that I have basically covered every part of my eyelid where the concealer is. Then here I am just cleaning off my brush. Didn't know you could see me there. Okay, whatever. So I'm going to make sure that concealer is dry before I start laying down glue. So I'm using this duo glue, and I really like the applicator on this one because it makes it so much easier to make precise lines, to make the point and everything. So I'm going to work in sections because I didn't want to apply the glue across the whole eyelid, and then whenever I went back in with glitter, it would have been patchy and not as sticky as it was or it could have been. So I felt like working in sections was the best way to go about this. So I'm going to go ahead and start off like this and just work my way over. I didn't want to rush, so I took my time on this part. I'm sorry, at certain angles you can actually see my TV in the background. My son is watching it. I'm not set up yet for my filming area, so this is what I got, but I'd rather film than not film. So yeah, let's just go with that. Okay, last one. This actually took a lot more time than it did look like in this video. It took me like an hour to do both my eyes. So now I'm just gonna place small dots where I want to put the rhinestones for the tip of the crown. And you can go to Walmart or Sally's or Hobby Lobby and pick up some nail art jewelry. These are just regular rhinestones, I guess. This part sucked because I think I lost like 5 or 6 of them. So yeah, make sure you have extra. And I was probably trying to pick one up right here. Yep. There we go. Get it on there. Okay, B, I see you. Now, I chose some pretty thin lashes because I didn't want it to cover up the work that I just spent all of my time doing. So I start from the outer, I guess, side of my eye and work my way inwards, if that makes sense. I just feel like this method works best, and then I go ahead and I press them down with my finger to make sure I secured the bag, B, okay? Let me stop. Okay. So then whenever I'm done with that, I'm actually going to go in with my Big Shot mascara from Maybelline. I love Maybelline products, man. And I'm just going to do this to try to, I guess, cover up my real lashes. So it's not a big, obvious difference between my real lashes and the false lashes. Whenever I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and take my tweezers and just squeeze my eyelashes against the false eyelashes to better, man, what's that word? Better disguise them, I guess. They're incognito. And then I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more of that Pool Party shade. It's a teal blue. Just make sure I didn't lose any color in the blending process or anything like that. And then I'm going to go in with the blending brush to make sure it's still gradient. Now, this is a hard candy primer. I have really oily skin, so I definitely use this stuff like crazy. But I don't mind because it's really affordable. You can get it at Walmart. I'm going to make sure I push that into my skin really well. Make sure you please clean your hands before you do your makeup, because that is how you get breakouts, especially if you're not having clean hands. So then I'm taking my pore filling primer, and first I pat this in, and then I'm going to spread out the rest across my face so that it's not just globby on top of my skin. And then I'm going to just smear it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and color. Look at me messing up. I'm going to color correct because I want a really flawless face. So I'm using the peach to cover up the dark circles underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to go in with the green to cover up my breakouts and more redder areas. Different colors call for different color correcting. So now I mix two foundations. I use 220 and 228 because one is too dark and one is too light. And I find if I mix them this way, then I get the perfect shade every single time. And I'm just going to go ahead and stipple that in with a Morphe kabuki brush like this. Yes. Like I said, stipple. I don't really rub because I don't want to move any of the color correcting, move it around or anything like that. So I stipple it in. I find that I get the best coverage like this because whenever I use a beauty blender, I end up having to layer my foundation. So I feel like I use less foundation whenever I apply my foundation this way. I was actually in front of my window and people were watching me as they were walking past my house. It was hilarious. Yeah. I have Cat in the Hat playing in the back. I used to love that movie. Another Maybelline product. I'm using their concealer. And then I'm going to use the Age Rewind concealer to brighten things up a little bit more. So first I put this one down and then I go in with the lighter color. There you go. Can't see any dark circles whatsoever. This stuff covers everything. Now I'm going to use my beauty blender and I'm going to spread that out. I don't mind using the beauty blender for concealer because this concealer is super pigmented, so I really don't lose any type of color whenever I use my beauty blender with this. But before I move on to blend out the rest of my face, I like to go ahead and set underneath my eyes with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. And then I go ahead and blend out the rest of my face. I do it like that because I don't want any creases underneath my eyes. And then I just use some, again, Maybelline setting powder to go ahead and set the other areas where I put concealer. You always want to set. And now I'm going to take my MAC powder and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. So everything is really just flawless. Look at that. Now for the under eyes, we're going to do the same exact steps that we did for the top. I'm starting with the transition shade and then the brick red shade, then the blue and the purple shade, like pretty much mixed together. So it's the same thing. I always like to do that so that it's, again, gradient and it's not just color thrown on my face. I love that red with my green eyes. I'm thinking about getting ready to do my Christmas tutorial. And I'm going to go back in with a little bit more blue just to blend it into the bottom. I love that color. I don't really like wearing too much color on my eyes, which is funny because I already have green eyes, so I don't wear a lot of color. So this was definitely outside of my comfort zone. So here I'm just bronzing up my face. Okay, I don't have a bronzer, so I'm using eyeshadow, but you wouldn't have known if I didn't tell you. Okay? Yeah, don't judge me. You gotta get creative in the makeup world. Sometimes things just happen. What do you want me to do about it? Then I'm gonna go in with a darker eyeshadow and contour. I just want my cheeks cut and slim and just really chiseled for this look. Everything's really dramatic. Yes, I wanted a little bit of blush, just a little bit of color, or a lot of color. Just something to kiss my cheeks with. I love blush. I used to not at all. Oh, so I actually used eyeshadows from the JACYLYN Hill palette for my highlight, and I fell in love with it. I didn't want a beige highlight. I didn't want a gold, so I used these pinky champagne-y colors, and I made my own highlight, and oh, they were popping when I was done. Yes, B. Yes. Bam. Don't forget the upper lip. You don't want to just put highlight on your cheekbones because then the rest of your face looks dull, so I always make sure I put it everywhere. Now for the lips, I wanted a skin color nude because I'm going to do something really creative with the lips. So once that dries down, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that purple eyeshadow that we used earlier, Royalty. So first I'm going to put it in the center, and then I'm going to start to spread it outwards so it transitions really nicely from color to no color. I was really winging it. I had no idea that this is what this look was going to turn into. I got my inspiration from a picture off of Instagram. Now then I went ahead and added some glue right down the center of my lip and go ahead and put that same glitter right on top of the glue. So like I said, this was not planned whatsoever. But yes, 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 B. So I really hope you guys like this look. Like this video, comment, and just let me know if you guys want to see anything specific. Well, thank you guys for coming back to my channel. Love ya.